listening to the Deep Purple Podcast, a fan podcast devoted to one of the greatest bands in rock history, Deep Purple. Your hosts, Nate and John, cover their shared history with the band, discover new music together, and cover the farthest reaches of the Deep Purple family tree and beyond. Here's Nate and John now.
Welcome to the Deep Purple Podcast, a fan podcast devoted to one of the greatest bands in rock history, Deep Purple. Today's episode is episode number 301, Fandango, Last Kiss. And coming to you from the suburbs of Chicago, where we're freezing our tootsies off, I'm your host, Nathan Beaudry.
And coming to you from the suburbs of Providence, I'm your co-host, John Dry January Matola.
Oh, are you doing it?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of doing it. So, I mean, I'm not drinking during the week, so it's more of like damp January.
Yeah, I was going to say the other day you were loaded and texted me about an episode idea that we're probably going to do, but I can't get into right now because it's going to make too many people mad.
Well, one of the funniest parts is that like for like 30 seconds, you believe me. Oh, you're doing dry January, but you were drunk when you were texting me the other night.
Like 2 days ago. You're doing damp January, completely wet.
It's not quite dry. I'm not quite drowning in booze. It's kind of somewhere in between. It's kind of like a moist January.
Moist.
Well, like I don't know what's in between.
It's like partially. Yeah, it's like
damp January.
Damp January. We'll call it damp January.
Yeah, a little wine on the.
It sounds less disgusting than moist January.
Yeah, just a bottle of wine and screaming through the phone at Nate on a Saturday night.
Yeah, he's texting me like we back and forth like 2 times, and he's like, "I've drank a whole bottle of wine." I'm like, I can tell, even over text.
Because what did I say? I was just like, hey, you know what? If they don't like it, fuck them. And that's probably how it sounded when you read the words too.
Yeah. Well, so everybody knows coming up, there's going to be an episode that some of you will not like. Well, maybe you'll like the episode. You won't like the subject matter, nor will you like the extremely tenuous connection to Deep Purple.
See, I mean, and if you haven't guessed already, it's something that it's like, well, could this really be connected to Deep Purple? Look, we're gonna find a way, okay?
It's mostly just we want to do it. Maybe we should just have one a year. Like we each pick one episode a year where we're just like, you know what? Screw it. I want to do this album. It has nothing to do with Deep Purple. We're just going to do it.
Well, I mean, that's why like podcasts that have been around for a long time do bonus episodes, we don't always have to like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon it,
Well, our bonus episodes are usually a bonus in that they are in addition to our regular episodes. So I don't know.
Or like, I don't know, maybe we can call it like a freebie, a hall pass with something. We'll figure it out.
Hall pass. It's like, honey, if I run into Dave Mustaine, I'm going to do a podcast about him. Is that okay?
What? I missed it.
You didn't hear what I said?
Yeah, no, but I don't get it.
Like a hall pass is usually for like, a married couple will have like some celebrity that like, if I ever meet Hugh Jackman, I want a freebie to be able to bang Hugh Jackman.
That's an oddly specific example that you gave.
I don't know. I just figured. And it's always like, why would Hugh Jackman be interested in having sex with you?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a fantasy.
Well, yeah. It is a fantasy, but
also if you ran into him, it would probably be like, he would be at dinner and really annoyed that you're asking for his autograph or, to bang him.
Even more annoyed that you'd be like, hey, listen, you're on my freebie list with my husband or wife or whoever. Can we just go have sex right now? Like, no, I'm trying to having dinner with my wife.
I'm trying to eat this chicken Florentine. Will you buzz off?
Chicken Florentine. He likes ham. He likes thick sliced ham.
All right, I think this is Yeah, this is taking a turn.
I may have talked about it on the show, but many years ago he came into where I worked and he requested
Oh, really?
thick sliced ham.
I
And
don't know
then
if I remember that.
I sliced it for him and he took the top piece off and he ate it and he winked at me. And every day he would come in and get the same thing. For
Oh,
because he was doing a play not too
yeah.
far away. Yeah.
So where was this? Where were you living?
In New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was very, very charming, very handsome. It was about 20 years ago.
So maybe just as charming, maybe not as handsome.
Yeah, I doubt he's not handsome still. I haven't seen him in a while, but
It'd be funny if he was like even more handsome, but he was a dick now.
he got more hands. He's an asshole.
Hey, if it worked the other way.
You swearing at me.
Listen, I give you ham. Like I don't want the ham. You're a ham. I don't know.
You're that guy that gave me the ham 20 years ago, aren't you? I've been meaning to talk to you. All right, so folks.
Anyways, yeah, now that we got way off track.
Yeah, way off track. Sorry, guys, that's never happened before. We're gonna right the ship in episode 301. Folks, our show is 100% listener supported and ad free. But if you receive some value from our show, please consider giving us some value back. One is you can support our show by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. You can buy some merch at our Etsy store. You can become a patron on Patreon or on PayPal for as little as $1 a month. You can help keep us in pretty things. You can donate on Cash App, $DPPOD, or support us on Ko-fi. You can also give us a super thanks on YouTube. Smash that like button. And subscribe. Be one of our tens of viewers on YouTube. We'd really appreciate it. But you know what, John? I'm saying we are ad-free, but I did get this email just today. So here it is. This email comes to us from Temu. It says, hi, the Deep Purple Podcast. Greetings from the Temu marketing team. We warmly invite you to join our affiliates activity and boost your income. This comes to us immediately after our 300th episode. So maybe Temu is just so high quality. They're just waiting for people to reach that threshold. They say, we warmly invite you to join our affiliate activities and boost your income. Simply authorize your YouTube, the Deep Purple Podcast, social media accounts within 30 days of this email. Here's the benefits: up to 20% commission, free Temu gifts, cash and credit rewards, and the first video wins $75. No idea what that means. So I can click here, install the app, and we'll be just loaded up with Temu ads. What do you think?
And don't forget, China will steal our information.
Like they haven't already. This is going to be
just
the one
waiting
thing
to
that kicks it over the line.
Yeah, I can tell that it's a very personalized ad, since they call us like, hello, the Deep Purple Podcast.
I have been getting a lot lately that says, hi, Nate and John, like, we produce podcasts and we can make you sound like the top rated podcasts out there. Like, if you give us a chance to put effects on your show or whatever, process your show. And I'm like, yeah, we're not the Joe Rogan podcast. It's fine. But at least they addressed us directly.
Sure.
But yeah, so if you don't want Temu ads, then you'll have to. I'm assuming everybody knows what Temu is.
Or is it? I've heard it two pronunciations: either Temu or Temu.
Temu? I've never heard Temu.
Oh, I have.
Okay.
I mean, but I don't know which one. But I don't know which one is what.
Have you heard Temu from your dad?
Well, first of all, Pops doesn't even know what Temu or Temu is. He'd probably, you know what he would say if I said, "Hey, Pops, have you ever heard of Temu?"
What would he say?
He would say,
"Oh, sorry, I'm really slow." He would say,
"Who the hell is that?"
Okay, there we go.
Nate's slow on the draw today.
I'm embarrassed.
Or like, Pops, have you ever heard of Sheen?
Who the hell is that?
Yeah, who the hell is that? I haven't heard that.
Yeah, that's another like, clothing. It's like,
Okay.
70 cents for a t-shirt, but you put it on and it just falls apart on your body. I
By
don't
the
know.
end of the day, it's totally disintegrated.
All right, I'm sorry.
Well, I decided to look it up, like what's about this Temu program. So I found all these things like, is Temu a legit company?
mhm.
And then you open it up, it says, yes, Temu is legitimate, safe, and reliable online marketplace. That's probably written by Temu. And then it says, who is the owner of Temu? And what else does it say? What are the risks of Temu? The app's ability to collect large amounts of personal data and potentially deep access to user devices raise serious privacy and cyber security concerns.
Hmm.
There you go. So give Temu all your information so that we can make an extra 15 cents an episode.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
folks.
good.
So that's ways that you can support the show that don't involve Temu, but we do have some news for you.
New patron.
That's right. We have a new patron. This is Sick Tone joining us at the $1 silly made up name tier. Sick Tone says, hello, I'm Lori, also known as Sick Tone on the internet. How did I get here? Well, in the early 90s, I browsed a book, yearly, very common Finnish book series. There was something written about heavy metal and Deep Purple was mentioned. Next weekend, during a casual visit, a local library noticed a cassette. Yes, they were still common, with that band name on it. Got the cassette, entered the parking lot in my dad's car. He was blasting out Beethoven. I asked if I could have a listen to this DP cassette. Well, why not? Although it's not my thing. Organ intro turned into a massive blast of power. Now you know the album. In rock it was. We listened to the first half of the cassette on the way home and got a, that was energetic, and went into lots of places. And I have to mention Beethoven, Dad said. Been a fan since then. I might have been about 12, 13 years old. Of course, Rainbow and the Family Band projects were found quite soon from the library and much later on the internet. Now I'm here writing an overly long introduction, listening to Pace Ashton Lord, because Pacey just shines on those tracks too. As a drummer of some kind, Pace always grabs my attention. So in short, hello, and thanks for making the podcast. So thank you. Thank you very much, Sick Tone.
I think that's the first story we've heard of somebody discovering Deep Purple at the library.
At the library, yeah. Loving it.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have like cassettes, CDs, whatever from there, right? I mean, I never.
Yeah, I guess they had cassettes there at some point, right?
Yeah, I think so. Or at least like maybe CDs or DVDs later on, but I never.
Libraries are crazy, man. You can, like the one by me, you can check out a sewing machine, a 3D printer, all the sorts of crazy stuff.
What?
Yeah.
When did libraries start doing that shit?
I don't know. It's pretty cool.
A sewing machine.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out a sewing machine.
Interesting. Well, that's timely, seeing as that they're closing down a bunch of Joanne fabrics this year, apparently. Well, who the fuck sews anymore?
Well, clearly the Roback's niece.
Well, I mean, except for her.
Who made him a custom-made Beavis and Butthead pillow.
Well, I mean, we're also, all of us in this group here are we're a very rare bunch.
We embrace outdated technologies. Like
Yeah,
sewing
exactly.
machines.
Yeah.
And Ashley Still I Hear Burn is an incredibly accomplished. I'm sorry, Ashley. I don't know what to call what you do, but I've seen that she does like fashion and makes like, she's got another account on Instagram where she makes clothing and all sorts of stuff, and she does
Seamstress.
Incredible. I guess seamstress seems like maybe that could be the word. I don't know. I'm not.
All right. I'm sorry. People still sew. Okay.
All right. There you go. Ashley, please don't cancel your donation because of John's insensitive words about sewing. Okay. So also,
new patron.
We have a new patron. I'm gonna try. I didn't ask how to pronounce this, so you're gonna have to correct me. But Kai Runa, yes, I'm Norwegian. Olsen joins us at the 70 Swedish kroner tier. I'm sorry, Norwegian kroner tier.
Oh, geez.
Do the Swedish have kroner too? I don't know. Most of the Scandinavian countries seem to have kroner. But yes, Kai Runa Olsen joins us in the Discord. He says, well, my history with Deep Purple, I was 10 years old in 1983 and only listened to Kiss at the time. I remember getting a tip to listen to a radio program that played hard rock, and on a Tuesday night in March, I heard Highway Star for the first time. For over 40 years, I have followed the band, been to most concerts in Norway, collected everything I've come across from vinyl, VHS, DVD, CD, books, and effects of both Purple and the Purple family. I like all Mark's, although I listen to Mark 1 the least. I really like Coverdale's vocals. His 2 solo albums, Whitesnake and Northwinds, are my absolute favorite albums.
Yeah,
Magic.
there we go.
Exactly. For a few years, I've had a fan account on Instagram called purplish_music. Feel free to check it out if you like. A year ago, I discovered the Deep Purple podcast, and I've listened to about 75% of the episodes. You two are such a big part of everyday life that I feel like I know you. I like that you are thorough, analytical, but also that you talk about everyday things like family life, friends, and renovating the house. Hopefully soon I won't be talking about that. Hope you make at least 300 more episodes. Greetings. Your friend from Norway, Kai Runa. Yes, I'm Norwegian. Olsen.
All right.
Yes,
Look at this.
Thank you.
Coming into 2025 hot.
Yeah, we're coming in hot with we've all these new
I know.
patrons. This is great.
I haven't heard the new patron jingle so much in the last couple of episodes, like in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there was like I never look at the analytics anymore. I'll have to see if there's like some sort of huge spike, or maybe somebody linked to it. Well, no, because he's saying he's been listening for about a year. So
Well, maybe thought this was the time, you know?
yeah, maybe people just get in the holiday spirit and they get in the mood to give and decide to start supporting some of their favorite creators. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's good to know that there are people out there listening.
Absolutely. Listening and donating. We appreciate it. Speaking of patrons, at the executive level of the In Memoriam tier, the wonderful late Gerald, Jerry, Kelly, and family. At the $25 Uncommon Man tier, we have Ovis Nakfi. At the 15 Squid tier, we have Alan. At the 10 pound Good Doctor tier, we have Dr. Mike Catan. At the Turn It Up to 11 tier, $11 tier, Clay Wambacher, Frank Thielgard Mortensen, Mikkel Steen, Will Porter, PhDBP, and Michael, don't call him Bradford Bagford. At the $10 Someone Came tier, we have Ryan M., Jeff Bryce, Victor Campos, Better Call Saul Evans. And Peter from Illinois. And at the Deep Thoughts by John Matola tier, we have Fielding Fowler.
And now, Deep Thoughts by John Matola.
Wait a minute. I lost it.
Thank you so much to all of you for your generous support of the podcast.
That was the first time I heard that one.
Yes, that's a new one for John. It just came in today, hours ago, that Fielding sent that in.
So wait a minute, he made that?
Yeah, he made that.
I like that.
He was looking for something else, but that was a quote from our most recent episode. So he might even send us a new one. But
yeah, well, it sounds like I was looking for something else too, and I couldn't find it.
He says it's in honor of those times where I set you up for something and you just go, yes, or just have like a one-word answer.
I go, huh? Yeah.
I set John up. I leave him I'm like, oh, he take it from here. I'm gonna have a sip of my beer, and I have to spit the beer back out into the cup because he's not talking.
Or I give you a one-word answer and you start laughing.
Oh boy. All right. So yes, our upcoming rankings show. Next up, a little album called Machine Head. Get us your rankings by May 5th if you're a patron.
Wait a minute. Did you say May 5th?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Wait a minute. What happened to Fireball?
Well, it's too late now because we're not taking rankings for Fireball yet.
Oh, that's right. Except for me, because I'm one of the hosts.
And me. Well, we're going to be recording that one very soon. So
okay, all right, very good.
wow, so everyone, Machine Head. get them. Did you think I like John? I think for a second thought he missed the Fireball episode. Did I miss it? Was I late?
Well, for a
They
minute,
must-
I don't know if I thought that or I was just like, I think Nate said too much beer because he said May. Like we're
I've
not
only,
even anywhere near May.
I've only had about a quarter of a beer.
Or I don't know, you're just kind of off your game anyways. Kroner and
That is true. I am off my
whatever.
game. Not that I had much game to begin with.
Aye.
Hey-oh.
Ayo.
But yeah, get us those rankings. So here we are. This one came about by we were just kind of talking in the Discord, and this album came up.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember how it came up. I know it was Old Fangled Thing in the Old Fangled Thing who is look trying to see who Old Fangled Thing is. Because I know he's called Old Fangled Thing. It is our new patron Adam had mentioned this album in the Discord, and we thought, let's give it a little listen. You gave it a little listen, right?
I did.
Yeah. And I just kind of brought it up to you because it was top of mind. I said, well, we haven't done any JLT or any Fandango in a while. What do you think? And it's been a lot longer since the Fandango episode that I thought. But I thought, hey, do you want to dive back into some late 70s JLT pre-Rainbow? And you said you were down for it. You were very interested.
Oh yeah. Love some JLT. And who could turn down a chance to listen to the guitar stylings of Ricky Blakemore?
Exactly.
Which
I
still sounds like a bad
no,
bad pseudonym that Richie used when he was signing into a hotel and trying to keep secret.
I think it would have been even funnier if he left Rainbow and then formed a band with Ricky Blakemore. He's like, here's my new guitarist, Ricky Blakemore. It's just hilarious that he was in a band with a guy whose name was Ricky Blakemore.
I mean, we know that he didn't go by Ricky, but
No,
still.
well, he's Ricky now. Like,
Well,
whether he
yeah,
wants
to
be or
us he
not.
is. Yeah, to us he
But he went
is.
by Rick Blakemore, which is close enough.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I love it. Every time I even think about it, it cracks me up. All right, so the band, I think there's some, I don't know if these are all the same guys. So obviously we talked about Ricky Blakemore, Denny LaRue on vocals, piano, and organ. We got Bob Daniels on vocals and bass, Lou Mondelli on drums. Hey, a paisa. We've got Walter Santos. He also did these albums called Street Corner Symphony, and he also was in a band called the Stanky Brown Group.
ugh,
It conjures up something kind of gross.
yikes.
And then of course we have none other than JLT on vocals. David Campbell was the arranger. I can't remember if he was the one who did the first Fandango album, but I know we've mentioned him on the show before, and he's Beck's father. He was like a huge arranger, conductor. He's worked with everybody. He's at thousands and thousands of entries, big names. He's worked with Adele, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Taylor Swift, and he has one of the coolest aliases. His alias is Ace Toronto. I think is pretty awesome.
Ace Toronto.
Ace Toronto.
Wow. I like that.
Could be like a detective. Ace
Toronto pet detective. I don't know. It's like
Ace Toronto private dick.
I don't know. I just like all these though. They sound like, I mean, you have Jolyn Turner, Ricky Blakemore, Denny LaRue. That sounds, I don't know what that sounds like, but, and then you have like Lou Mondelli. Oh, and then you have Walter Santos. He sounds like the janitor.
Yeah, he mostly goes by just Santos. Like he's credited other
Oh,
places
really?
as just Santos.
I don't know. I feel like he could have had like some kind of rock and roll name, like Phil Lightning or something.
Walter's not a huge rock and roll game. I can't think of any other Walters out there.
Well, I mean, there's Walter Murphy, but he was that kind of disco like porno music in the 70s.
I don't know Walter Murphy.
No?
Would I know
Well,
his music?
yeah, if you heard some of the like wow stuff, you'd be like, oh, that was him. Oh, that was Walter Murphy. Yeah, I think he was a composer in the 70s.
All right.
Anyways,
We also have on harmonica Jimmy Hall. He is confused, I think, on Discogs with a composer named Jim Hall because he has like his first credits from like 1957. I think he would have been like 8 years old, and I was like, oh, maybe he was like some harmonica phenom and he played on a blues album, but I think they just credited the wrong thing to him. But he did play with Kiki D, Grand Funk Railroad, and Wet Willie, which is funny. I like the name Wet Willie.
he played with the band that's what, like your wet thumb in your ear. Wet Willie.
I don't remember if I ever told a story on the show before or at all. So remember the X Games?
Yeah.
They started in Rhode Island when we were living there. Well, when I was living there, you're still living there. But it was a big thing, the X Games. And it was the first year they ever did the X Games. And me, my cousin Jeff, and my cousin Kenny, who used to sing, used to request John sing Heaven's on Fire. We all drove down to Newport to watch. They were doing, I think it was like BMX half pipe or something. And we went there was a huge crowd. And this woman was in the crowd right next to us. And she was trying to videotape something or something. She was getting really pissed off at other people in the crowd and making a big scene. And like, so people just started getting really tired of her crap and started talking back to her and stuff. And she's like, I'm trying to record. And she was just really, really crabby. And she yelled at this guy. And then there was like this silence fell over the crowd. It was one of those things I don't think anyone was expecting it. Just like one of those rare moments where just everything lined up where people weren't talking. And my cousin Kenny said, oh man, I bet she'd really hate it if I gave her a wet willy right now. And everyone just started cracking up and she just like stormed off. She was so mad. So anytime I hear wet willy, I think of that. My cousin Kenny. Is
Not
wet
the 70s
willy
band.
a universal thing? Do people in Europe know what a wet willy is?
Let us know.
Or I could just tell you now. I'm looking it up. Oh, I looked it up and the first thing that came up was the band. I'm surprised.
Oh.
Okay, I'm trying to see what the etymology of it is. Etymology from the personal name Willie. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so a wet willy anyway is when you lick your finger and you just stick it in somebody's ear. And
Wet Willie.
Yeah, if you've ever had one done to you, it's not a pleasant sensation.
Well, here, look up the other one is the dreaded Rear Admiral.
Uh-oh. Should I look this up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. That one I've never heard of.
Rich and Steve will know.
It's bringing up all the obvious things that I know. It's like, yeah, I know about the military definition. Rear Admiral, let's see. Slang. Definition and meaning. Yeah, it's somebody commissioned in the Navy. I know. Okay, you're gonna have to explain it. I don't know.
It was basically a what do you call it? It was a quote from The Simpsons.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But let me see. It was what do you call it?
You don't know either.
No. I just I don't know. I just have friggin' what do you call it? I know where the quotes are from.
Okay. It's when you get punched in the butt so hard that your tailbone gets bruised, causing you have to stand for attention rather than sit.
All right, I thought it was something a lot worse. But there you go.
But is that oh, I just found a different definition. I don't think that's what the Simpsons were going for.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Well, yeah, because it was Milhouse saying it.
Yeah. It's
So
funny
yeah,
to
I'm sure
punch
that they
somebody
did.
in the butt. It's
See, but
more of
that's
a
the thing.
kicking sort of situation.
Yeah, you just like you sort of like, hey, you know how I, you know how I pranked him? What? I punched him in the butt.
What a great prank. Oh, I just pranked you so hard. You
So
know, another great prank is kicking somebody in the face. It's just great prank. Hilarious.
So I was looking for this because we're talking, I mean, these are like in the most innocent way, like like things that like kids do to each other, like kids terms like wet willy and
Yeah.
rear admiral, like doing these things like beating people up or pulling a prank on them and then giving it a name, right?
Yeah.
So there's this old video, I don't know if it was YouTube or whatever, and I don't know if you've ever seen it. Is like two brothers playing ping pong. It's like an
Mhm.
older brother and a younger one. So the younger brother throws the paddle at the older brother and it hits him.
Yeah.
And he crouches down and hits him. He goes, oh, and he gets enraged. And
Yep.
he goes, oh, fuck, fuck. He starts screaming fuck and he runs over and like he he grabs the ping pong table and flips it over. And this is like, like the kids are like 8 and 14 or something.
Okay.
They're not like grown men. So he flips the table over and the little brother's like he's like scream like the high pitched squealing, and it was like while he's running away, and it was so funny because it was like me and my brother, right?
Yeah.
Because we used to do the same thing. He would like throw something at me, hit me, and I'd get that look on my face like, "Oh, you're dead." He'd be like, ah! And he'd like run away. Right, sibling rivalry, right? So I
Another
thought
great
about the
prank, throwing a ping pong racket into somebody's face, a paddle.
and then getting so mad you flip over the ping pong table. But it's like I've seen this video and I'm like, oh, I gotta send this to my brother.
Yeah.
So how do you find things online, right? You just like if you don't know, like if the video didn't have a name or you don't know
Yeah.
if there wasn't anybody in it, you just string together a bunch of keywords
Yep.
and and like hopefully Google will find it. So I type in like, brothers ping pong fuck, and you don't want to know what came up. It's like what you think came up, and I'm like, all right, maybe I should try and put in more
Yeah.
words here.
Yeah. Some words are needed for that Boolean
And
search.
so eventually I found it though, the video, the two brothers fight. We should pull it up later because it's like well, you're an only child, but I mean, I don't know, maybe with kids now you would find it funny, but I find it hilarious because it's classic like sibling rivalry. The older brother just like seeing red and like wanting to kill the, the younger one.
Well, I mean, I always lived directly next door to one of my cousins, so there was a lot of yeah, I didn't get the relentless sibling onslaught, but there were definitely some strong words and big
Mm,
fights had.
strongly worded letters.
But then one of us could go home, so it
Yeah,
was
that's
then,
true.
we'd probably be back the next day.
Yeah.
Okay. So our engineer for this album, David Rufo. We have engineer assistant Sean Fullen, who worked. He started out working in Europe alongside Glenn Johns, and then worked with the Rolling Stones, Duran Duran, Metallica, and Lou Reed, but not Metallica and Lou Reed. So that's a good thing. Gus Mossler, who worked with John Denver, National Lampoon, and Harry Nilsson, but not that creepy bathrobe album cover album. Some of his other stuff. Producer Neil Portnow, and I know we've talked about him before. He was the president and CEO of the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences from 2002 to 2019. And then we get the album cover. John, what do you think of Fandango's Last Kiss album cover?
I'm waiting. There we go. I was like waiting for
Oh,
it to
sorry, I
come
was a
up.
little zoom delay there.
Yeah, I think this one is pretty cool actually. I like it. Um, it's like I immediately see it and think like, okay, this is like a late 70s album. Like I can picture it like even looking at it now, I'm just like this is like this is something that you would want to own on vinyl. Like I could just turn around and, grab one of those vinyl covers and it would look great being in your record collection because you just, just a set of lips and everything's all red. And it
And you
says,
can own it on vinyl very cheap, by the way.
yeah,
I almost picked up a copy because I was like $2 on Discogs.
wow. But
And
I
it's
mean,
not
yeah, it
shipping from
looks,
Sweden, so I don't have to pay $20 in shipping.
yeah, that's where I draw the line when you pay more in shipping than you do for the
Well, you'll
item.
definitely pay more in shipping for this one,
Hmm.
but still wouldn't probably be too bad.
But yeah, no, I think that I think this is your kind of quintessential late 70s album cover. I got no problem with it here. I like there's not much to it, I mean, I like the color scheme and everything. You just have the kind of like black, red, white, and a little bit of yellow up there.
Yep. Yep.
Um, but yeah, I guess there's really not much more to say. It's simple, but it's kind of striking, but it definitely screams like late 70s pop rock
And
band
this
to
is
me.
78, so that could almost be a disco album cover.
Yeah.
It's it's interesting that they chose not to take like the original photo, which would have been like, flesh colored with the red lips, so you'd see that contrast, and they made everything red. So the skin is red, the lips are red, and then you've got that like super shiny lipstick on, so you can see the reflection off
Yeah.
the bottom lip.
Yeah, it's almost, kind of like you have like a red light bulb on for mood. So
Oh yeah.
type of thing. So maybe
Maybe
it's
it's in the red light district.
yeah, you never know.
You never know what's going on.
And that's where the last kiss is coming from. It's just like you're in the red light district.
Yeah, last kiss. You want any more,
Mwah.
you gotta pay. So the art direction on this was done by a company called Gribbit, who had lots of credits on Discogs, including Frank Sinatra, Donna Summer, and Parliament. Like all those like classic mid 70s Parliament album covers, which I had all those albums, so kind of interesting. And then Joe South with a little Deep Purple connection, and Barbie Benton, not the one that we reviewed, but one of her earlier non-Roger Glover albums. Art direction by Tim Bryant, who was an art director at RCA, who worked with a number of groups, but my favorite one is the legendary Lefty Frizzell. Designed by Peach Arts. Only credits are the 2 Fandango albums, so it's actually that Fandango logo that we don't see here, but we'll see elsewhere. Photography by Ron Slenzak, who did photography for a lot of album covers, some pretty huge acts, also worked on those Parliament album covers. And then the illustration by Ed Scarisbrick, who did the cover of Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. So some interesting folks there. A bunch of inner sleeve acknowledgments thanking a bunch of people, including the band Wet Willie. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for that album cover. On the inside, you see this, I'm sorry, on the back side, you see this woman's hands with the like matching red fingernails. There's a picture of the band on the left-hand side where there's a lot of chest being shown. That one guy is wearing a bathrobe. Much like the Harry Nilsson album.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this photo.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 7 people. Yeah, so you've got, and I think somewhere it says who they are, but it's got the track listing. It's got what I assume is a snippet of the lyrics. It says, "Little girl, I love you so, and I say it over and over. Wonder if you'll ever know just how much I feel inside. We say hello and say goodbye. Oh, darling, oh, I should have made that last kiss last a little longer. ... Yeah, so you've got that one guy who kind of looks like he's got the kind of white boy fro and mustache and open chest and like wearing an amulet of some sort. You got the guy in the robe. JLT is wearing like a a very, very colorful vest with flowers all over it.
Mm-hmm.
You got the guy in the top right that looks like he looks like that character actor. Can't think of the guy's name, but you've seen him in a bunch of stuff. We got like the Luke Skywalker looking guy beside him. In the bottom, there's the guy with the jeans unbuttoned and his shirt all undone, nipples on full display. And then you got the guy on the right, bottom right, who just he couldn't stop smoking for 1 second to take the picture.
Yeah,
I love that
exactly.
about like the pictures in the 70s. Like, oh, I'm gonna go pictures. Well, I'm gonna be smoking in this picture, and they're just
Yeah, if I was a picture of me mid-drag, so be it.
yep. I gotta do what I gotta do.
Flavor Town.
One-way ticket to Flavor Town. Then we've got the back, which is the same. Looks like from this same photo session, but in black and white. Lists all the tracks. Nothing crazy there. And then the back of the CD. And I think that's it. That's the record labels. And there you have Last Kiss. Before we get into these tracks, John, should we thank our next level of patrons?
Thank those patrons.
Thank those guys. All right. Time to thank our core level patrons. Coming to us at the $6.99 new nice price tier, we have Spike the Rock Cat and Sugar Tea. At the episode $6.66 tier, we have Steve Coldwell. Arthur Smith.
Getting support from the patron Arthur Smith.
Anton Glaving.
Pain in the glaving!
And Charles Meadows. At the $6.65 almost evil tier, we have Kenny Wymore and Richie Sucksmith. At the 70 Norwegian kroner tier, we have Kai Runa. Yes, I'm Norwegian Olsen. And please let me know how I'm butchering your name so I can correct it. At the $5.99, the nice price tier, Robert Smith and Carl Hellberg. At the 60 kroner Scandinavian Nights tier, DJ Newt Morton Johansson. At the $5 moneylender tier, John Convery, German Heindel, Adrian Hernandez, Jesper Alman, Alexei the Perfect Stranger Slepikoff, Kev Roberts, Percival Frequency, Scott Zerns, Cynthia Doobie, Raf Kaff.
My Czechoslovakian is not so good.
We have Coyote Bongwater. And then you know who else we have?
Oh.
He likes to make a lot of visual gestures to answer my questions on the podcast.
I was just waving my hand around.
Exactly. Well, we have Nate stalling because he didn't load up the clip, but we have nothing but John Maselli.
That's me, Mr. Goodmop.
All right, that was well worth the wait.
Mr. Goodmop.
Then we have Sarah Sanders.
No, Kelly Clarkson!
We have Jelly Bean, Evan Robison, Richard Fusey, and Purple Swede.
Swede?
Every week I almost call Sarah Sanders Kelly Clarkson.
Oh. Hey,
Kelly Clarkson is listening. Join us at make your own $100 a month tier or whatever, or $100 a week tier. Okay, so here we are.
wait a minute. What happened to Hughes-Ween?
There is no Hughes-Ween. There is only...
And now, Deep Thoughts by John Matola.
Wait a minute. I lost it.
That's the new Hughes-Ween.
Damn it. Oh,
Well, it's been like a year and 3 months since we did Hughes-Ween, and that was because he was demanding we do a Hughes-Ween episode. We've done 2 Hughes-Weens now.
Yeah, I guess.
So he's not even making demands now. Fielding Fowler is he's just doing Deep Thoughts with you.
All right.
More to come on that. All right, are we ready to get into the tracks here?
Let's get into some tracks.
All right, first track up, Last Kiss. We know how that volume level is on your end.
Give me a little more.
A little more.
Hit me with a little more of that volume.
So this song was written by Daniels, LaRue, Turner, Dawson, and Blakemore. Tasty playing by Blakemore there.
Oh yeah. You can already hear JLT is just way more than just a typical kind of faceless band 70s singer at this point.
Yep.
Like you could tell he's putting so much into it. He's very distinctive sounding.
Great backings and harmonies in this, though.
But I mean, he's already found his classic voice, like his phrasing, the way he's singing. It sounds like he would sing in Rainbow and, every other band that he's been in since.
Yep.
Like, listen to how much he's putting into that. And this song is like very laid back, like 70s pop.
With a different singer, I really like the instrumentation on this and the production.
Oh yeah, yeah, but I think it wouldn't have been as
remarkable. It could be a snoozer if it had the wrong singer.
Yeah, or it could have just kind of fit into everything else, with everything else. I mean, JLT's vocals really separate it.
And also, I don't remember the first album particularly well, but it seems like this is like a big step up for them.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing because that first album didn't really make a huge impression on me.
Yeah, it was all right.
Ooh, like Spanish wine.
Sweet?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't drink a lot of Spanish wine.
There's a lot of, I guess like
usually it's dry, I think.
If you're drinking like fortified wines, but I think the Germans are more known for their sweet, but I guess that's not as, you're sweet like German wine. It's not as romantic sounding as Spanish.
Oh, it sounds kind of frightening, actually.
Are you getting aroused? You've had a lot of the sweet wine. Would you like some more Gewürztraminer?
You sound like Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Austrian, German.
Oh, yes. Uh-oh.
All right, I'm going to put this in the show notes. The Essential Guide to Spain's Sweet Wines. If you're looking for more information. All right, Last Kiss.
John. Oh, I got to find on the spreadsheet.
Oh, no. I haven't even put all the songs in yet, so don't feel too bad.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I was just looking for...
I think I put that one in there.
The last... Yes, you did. I just saw like big gaps and small letters, and I was like, oh, shit. I didn't know where I was going. All right. Anyways, so the title track, the titular.
Oh, yes.
The Last Kiss by Fandango. You can tell I'm stalling. So yeah, I'll give it a 4. Even though it went all the way to the right. I don't like that.
I'll fix it.
Yeah, center it. I'm very OCD.
Yeah.
There you go.
All centered now.
All right, that's a proper 4. Yeah, I really think for this album, I feel like, and I mean, I was listening to it while I was just able to listen to music, yesterday, or when you gave it to me. I was like listen to some tracks to kind of get a sense of the album, and I'm like, okay, it's like a really good opening to this album because we're not talking about JLT in like 5 years,
Hmm.
right? We're talking about him now in this era where I feel like he's already found his voice, so to speak, literally and figuratively. I mean, the arrangement, like the music, is actually really good. You know, it has a that kind of polished, radio friendly sound that's typical of late 70s rock or pop rock. You know, kind of like a soft rock vibe. Um, and it's not bad. It's like it definitely sounds good, but JLT definitely elevates it because of his vocals. And I mean, when you hear him too, it's like as soon as he came on, it's like, oh, okay, that isn't like, oh wow, that's young JLT. It doesn't really sound like him. Like it sounds like him singing in a pop band. And the other difference too is that he's really like belting it out as much as you can in the kind of song like this. And it's
Yeah.
not to the point where he's like, he's doing uh, like a Death Alley Driver or something like that. He's not, you know, he's you could tell he's putting his all into it, but he's making it appropriate for this style. Um, so yeah, I like it though, and I'm surprised at how much I like it.
Yeah, it could easily be like uh, have a wimpy delivery or like maybe too breathy. There's a million ways you could do this, but he sings it with a lot of power, and
Hmm.
I don't know that that would be hearing the way that music goes. I don't know that a lot of singers would take that route, but I'm glad he did because it's great. Yeah, I'll give it a 4 too. I really like this track. I think it's a strong opener, but like not a obviously not a rocker, but it's just kind of a it really suited to the mellow, like kind of soft rock of the time. All right. The next track up is called Sure Got the Power. Pretty dry 70s drums there. You've heard Blackmore and Lord, but have you ever heard Blakemore and LaRue trading off solos?
And it's funnier because LaRue starts with L like Lord.
LaRue.
It'd be funny if he was just like, yeah, and here's my keyboard player, like Ron Ford.
Jack Ford.
But yeah, everything in the mix of this, the mix is like really good. You hear all like the instruments very distinct.
Yeah, it's really produced well.
Yeah, it's a pleasant sounding mix. Very even.
And this is Neil Portnow. I mean, he goes on to be the president of the Recording Academy for better part of 20 years. Worked with Whitney Houston, Dionne Warwick, Billy Ocean. I mean, this guy's no slouch.
Nope. Oh, nice bass in there.
Yep.
That's good. The guitar's got a little crunch on it, but not too much. A lot of good melodic stuff there by Blakemore.
Here come the strings. Oh, wait. Maybe not strings.
Fake strings.
They sounded real. Until they started getting all crazy.
No. LaRue coming in with those Space Odyssey keyboards.
We also have Larry Dawson, so I don't know which one it was. Oh, it looks like Dawson did the synthesizer, so this has got to be Dawson. And
All
LaRue
right.
did piano and organ. And I see Dawson also does clavinet, so that makes me happy that we have that to look forward to. And I was surprised that this album is even available on Spotify.
No, I'm not. I mean, at this point, I'm surprised at. Like, I'll search for something, and it's almost anything you search for is on Spotify.
Yeah, but they have a lot of like holes in there.
Oh, sure, but I would just be like 50-50 chance that this is on here. And I'm not surprised. Saw it. I'm like,
Especially
oh,
more
pleasantly
obscure stuff like
surprised.
this. And I think
Yeah.
it's also like there's a band called Fandango that is not this band, and it's
Yeah.
like lumped in with that band, even though it's
Mhm.
not them.
Yeah.
So it like shows up. They're like, oh, they had this album in 1978, and then they didn't do anything for 35 years, and they released something in 2018 or whatever.
Yeah, that's a problem, but
I was talking to Jen before the show about the fact that there are two bands named Fandango linked to Deep Purple.
I'm sure she found the whole thing riveting.
She found it very stupid. She doesn't like the name Fandango. Send her your hate mail. Okay. Sure got the power, John.
I'll give it 3.5. I think a nice, a strong follow-up. Yeah, I don't know that I have much more to say, other than what I was commenting through the song is that I kind of took note of the kind of crunchy guitars. Good arrangement. Nice melody there, nice breakdown and build up with the synth. A couple of tasty bass fills in there. So yeah, oh yeah, the requisite.
Yeah, that's just that you got to have that. Glenn Hughes does it on Play Me Out. Any respectable bass player around this time was thrown in a
Otherwise, what are they doing?
Not playing bass. I was also thinking 3.5. I like this one a lot. Good solid track. Yeah, another great vocal delivery by You Know Who. Yeah, just a solid song all around. That brings us to our next track, which is called Mexico. They're really flirting with disco all over the place on this so far.
Yeah, very funky disco-esque.
That whistle. It was really faint, like somebody was barely blowing into a whistle. It's gone now. I was afraid this was going to be a cover of that wimpy James Taylor song, Mexico.
Thank goodness it's not.
Ooh, nice little slides there, too. Okay, that was a little weird. Ah.
Yeah, this has a lot of musically a lot of disco elements to it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't turn into a disco song, you know what I mean?
But it does have a lot of cultural sensitivity about Mexico that we will reprise later with our postcards from the Edge segment. Oh,
Oh, nice.
was that a move?
No, I think that's
No,
that's
that's
Blakemore.
Blakemore with his volume swells. Oh, they did the ballerina thing again.
Oh yeah, they can't do it once and it just sounds goofy.
It definitely doesn't sound goofy twice. Oh, that did sound like the James Taylor. Oh, Mexico. They said it like the same like cadence that he uses.
Kinda. Oh yeah, rocking it up a little bit.
You're making some faces.
Because it, yeah, it sounds like you.
Ooh.
I'll get back to it.
Getting damn funky here.
I don't want to ruin our listening experience.
Is you trying and turning over a new leaf?
No, that the kind of middle to the end of that guitar solo sounded like it sounded like some kid doing his first guitar solo
Yeah,
and
it's like,
just kind of figuring it out.
Yeah, it sounded like they could have done a second take.
Yeah, like very almost amateurish. Like, all right, you haven't gotten that down yet. Maybe a couple more weeks of practice.
Yeah, exactly.
Go home and practice your pentatonic scale, son.
Which is given it was a little jarring given the overall quality of the production so far.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like you could have done that a little smoother. Kind of a near miss for Blakemore.
The chinks are starting to show in the armor of Blakemore. Maybe he is human after all. Senorita, I really need you. That's pretty good.
Ooh, nice. Wow, you heard the fretboard on that one.
Yeah, it went into like a weird Beatles-esque sort of symphonic ending that I wasn't expecting. That must have been Beck's dad pulling the strings there.
Hey.
All right, senor, what do you think of Mexico? The song, not the country.
I think I'm gonna have to give that one a quattro.
Oh my goodness. Quattro.
I mean, come on, it's Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
I really kind of overall enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting. I mean, it is. I mean, some of the lyrics are kind of hokey. You know, there was that awkward kind of jilted part in the solo, but I mean, overall, it's just like it was just really fun to listen to. There's just like a lot of great melody and chord changes and stuff in it. Like I really liked it. Like, I don't know, I feel like this could be my go-to mellow album
Yeah, yes, very. It is a
in the future.
yeah. I will give this one a 3.5. I
Huh?
think yeah, it's good. The weird call and response simile choir where like a ballerina kind of took
I
me
know you
out.
didn't like that one.
It took me out a little bit. It's like I don't know.
Eh.
You know, Senorita, I really need you.
Yeah, I mean, I
Kinda,
know it's
I
kind
kind of
of,
liked that, to be honest.
yeah,
But yeah, it's a good mellow track. It's
yeah,
a lot better than the James Taylor Mexico.
yeah.
I'll give it that. I'm not a big fan of that song's just too wimpy for me.
Wimpy.
It is. It's like, come on. Well, how else do you describe that song but just wimpy?
No, I know. It's just like that was like
Oh,
such a.
Mexico.
I know. It's
I
just
think I
like
was too tough the way that I sang that right then.
No, I just feel like that's. I don't really use that word, that adjective to describe songs anymore. Like when I was like a kid, I would. It's just like, oh, the keyboards in that song were so wimpy. Just the wimpy. It's just like
Yeah.
it's not like it's inaccurate or anything. It's just funny. It makes me because I used to say that about like any song with keyboards. I'm like, oh, the
Yeah.
keyboards make this metal song so wimpy.
Or gladly.
Sounds like a wimp is playing it.
Sounds like somebody who would gladly pay you Tuesday for some hamburgers today.
Not that
Um,
wimpy.
Not that wimpy. Okay, the next one up, I kind of like the title of this track. This one's called "Losing Kind of Love." Cool.
Blake
Yeah, they
Borg
don't
getting a
mess
little
around with
wild
the way they
here.
mix the bass on this album. Wow, this is like almost full-on disco now.
A really nice, simple like guitar melody.
Ooh.
He goes, I can see. Puts it all in there, baby.
Sounds like female backing singers, but there's none listed.
See, I like this part. I like the verse. I don't know that the chorus is that strong.
It feels a little forced.
Or just kind of like average, there's nothing really, nothing really grabs you.
Really good drum. I like the drumming on this a lot.
Yeah.
It's almost like a weird, like easy listening Iron Maiden here.
Well, that's when the bass would start going.
Oof. And this bass player really doesn't have many credits outside of Fandango, but he's a monster.
It's always like my bass go-to. If I was ever playing the bass on a song, I'd always go boom, burton, 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 burton.
Yep. But it's also, you just slide all the way up on the string. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That's a good one too. Lots of tricks of the trade.
Pretty much all the tricks that I had in my bag.
What
Yeah, just playing the octaves. Yeah.
do you think of Losing Kind of Love?
So this one I think rates a little lower for me. I say I give this one like a 3.
All right.
I mean, I really like I said, I like the verse, and I really like that guitar line because it's kind of simple, you know. Ba-na-na-na, bum, bow. But yeah, just the chorus, it wasn't that good. It's like losing kind of love, you know, it just kind of drones along a little bit. Not as
Chorus, skip the
dynamic.
chorus.
Yeah. Yeah. Bore us with the chorus. Well, no, don't bore us, get to the chorus.
Don't bore us. Skip the chorus.
Yeah, well, in this case, the chorus was bore us. So yeah, it was just kind of flat. And you know me with choruses that don't have any kind of up and down to them, you know, any kind of dynamics. So they just kind of like are flat. That's how it kind of sounded to me, flat. So I was kind of like, but not awful, but there were good parts of the song, but overall it was not one of my favorites so far.
I will give this one a 4. The first time they did the chorus, I felt exactly like you, but by the time the song was over, they completely won me over on it. I really liked it.
All right. Okay.
And I don't know, it felt like almost it was a different chorus after the first time. The first time really did fall flat with me as well. But yeah, I liked it. I like the losing, and I like the losing kind of love as a kind of interesting concept. There's so often with these albums, you're used to hearing these old tropes being dragged out, and I feel like that's a interesting idea of this losing kind of love rather than just trying
Winning
to think
kind of love.
winning kind of I mean, there's a million of those tropes that they just grind into the ground a million times, and this wasn't that. It was kind of interesting. So all right, well folks, you've heard of Gillen's Inn. Well, get ready for Hotel LaRue. It's like Freebird.
But I mean, also they're just like, let's
And they
just
start
like
off
call
with,
this like
one of the biggest tropes.
hotel. Like, let's name this after the last name of our organ player. A little bluesy.
Saratoga, Philly.
Oh, JLT.
Saratoga, Philly was her name, Erica Varga? Or was it Vargas?
No, Varga.
It was Varga. High steppin'.
You know, this makes me think of like an early Elf song
Oh, sure.
because it got that same kind of piano-driven, like almost bar blues honky tonk type thing going on.
Sure.
Not here, but the chorus kind of gets funky like
Yeah.
that. Oh,
Oh, there's Jimmy Hall on that harmonica. What is high steppin'? I mean, it's like
I
a
don't
kind
know.
of dance, but like what? I'm trying. Oh, it says
like stepping out or high
it
stepping,
says
like
seeking unrestrained pleasure as by frequenting nightclubs, parties, etc., leading a wild and fast life.
hmm. He said that Jimmy Hall, I recognize his name because he was on 2 Grand Funk albums with later
Yes.
ones.
Yep.
And I actually
Oh.
remember too, because he played a very prominent melody in like one of their, like I think like one of their ballads,
Okay.
like later ballads. And I think he played saxophone too.
Oh, quite possible.
Yeah, but he was on a couple of tracks, and I knew I recognized that name because there's only like Grand Funk started out as a trio, so when they started throwing other people in there, I remember the names.
Throw all kinds of people in there, like. Oh, he was a saxophonist and harmonica player for
Oh,
Wet Willie.
Wet Willie. No, they were like a trio, and then they had a keyboard player.
He played with Jeff Beck too.
Oh,
Ooh, listen to that. It's got like a little envelope on it or a wah or something.
definitely the bluesiest song on this album so far.
Yeah. But is it a lazy blues song? Stay tuned to find out.
I don't know. It kind of has like almost like an Aerosmith type of feel to it.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I mean, not a stretch, you know. I mean, it's very kind of like faux bluesy type stuff.
Hotel LaRue.
Hmm. I don't know how to feel about this one.
Hmm.
You know what? I'll give this one a 3. I thought it was yeah, there was some good stuff in it, but I think again it was another not as much of a standout. Probably I don't know. I feel like it was derivative of a lot of other things. Like it reminded me of so much other stuff that
Yeah.
which isn't a bad thing, but I think it just reminded me of so much other stuff. It just kind of distracted me. I mean, I think that they did it well though. Like I think within the context of the album, the bluesiness of this as opposed to kind of the soft rock, almost disco that they're touching on, it doesn't really sound like it doesn't belong or that it's off.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think I liked more the other kind of direction. You know, they were going in with the swirly choruses and JLT kind of throwing in some interesting lyrics and them being a little more wistful and melodic.
Mm-hmm. I will give this one a 3 as well. Yeah, it was a good upbeat sort of song. A weird choice to name the hotel after your drummer, but hey, what are you gonna do? But cool song. I liked it. And apologies to Steve Down to Earth Kohler. He is who brought up Fandango and this album specifically, and what's soon to be what he is his favorite Fandango song. So apologies. Old Fangled Thing was talking about something right before that. So that might have been what I was referencing. So maybe Steve Kohler's already canceled his Patreon and sent me a nasty email. And yeah, hopefully we can make amends by apologizing. Thank you for turning us onto this album, Steve. We appreciate it. Okay, so now we're flipping the album over. We're on side 2, and that opens with Feel the Pain.
Ooh. Very like a very metal type of title. Feel the pain.
Sawtooth wave here. Ooh. Wow. All of a sudden it's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It's gonna be their tarot woman.
Yeah, what is this? Rainbow Rising? Some of the same effects, though. Kind of unusual given the rest of the album.
Yeah. But I like it. Lady Jane.
I feel like they could have gone into this without that whole keyboard intro.
Maybe.
It's good stuff. It's like a little more rockin', but it's like soft rockin'. So this is a song about Lady Jane.
kind of generic lyrics. Caught in the rain, feel the pain, Lady Jane. And then it goes into this kind of, this reminds me of, this is a class, what's that classic rock song I'm thinking of?
Pretty broad. I don't know.
I think Lady Jane was pretty broad. You're right.
No, is it the Who?
It's got to be the Who, right?
Or something with the.
All right. So that was, I almost called it Lady Jane. That was Feel the Pain.
Feel the pain, Lady Jane.
Feel the pain, Lady Jane. Ain't it a shame in the pouring rain? Kind of a Dr. Seuss sort of story there. What do you think of Feel the Pain, John? Oh, and it says written by, synthesizer introduction was by Larry Dawson, the synth guy. And then LaRue, Turner, and Blakemore. Second part of the song.
I give this one a 3.
All right.
I think we could have done without the keyboard intro, but I feel like JLT's got a good handle on the verses. There's some really good kind of melodic stuff, some good vocals in there, but I don't know. I feel like the song as a whole, it didn't really grab me. But I mean, I did like how, it was kind of like a little bit more of a rocker, but a rocker for this album. They kind of like shaved the sharp edges off there. They just kind of whittled them down. It's not dangerous. It's not heavy.
Yep. No.
But I mean, that's fine. That's fine, but it's still like, I would still say it's like, the rocker of the album, dun, 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 that type of. But anyway, yeah, I just didn't move me.
Okay.
Not a whole lot.
I will give it a 3 as well. A little, maybe not as creative as some of the other tracks on the album, but not bad by any means. Okay, the next track up is called City of Angels.
Weary traveler is coming home.
I think this might be the longest song on the album. It's their Stargazer. So this is a Long Island boys love ballad to LA.
Okay.
Liable to get your ass kicked in Long Island for writing that kind of song.
Hey.
Kind of like these back and forth with these little choruses.
Yeah.
He wants her to let him know if someone else is holding her tonight. I feel like no good can come of that. Of learning that. Yes, somebody is. Ah, shit. He's saying he never got her letters or her calls, sort of leading you to believe there actually were letters or calls, but I don't think there were. I think this is the 70s equivalent of ghosting this guy.
Ghosting. Ooh.
I like what he's doing on the Moog on this.
Right.
It's kind of
Blake
a nice,
Moore. Turn out a good solo there.
great solo, and it goes right into the chorus section too, which is kind of cool. Almost sounded like Dave Gilmore-ish at the end. They're really bringing it home on the end in this song. Again, something that we harp on, which even just looking at the waveform of the song is just dynamic, very, very dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to his vocals in this part. Sounds Hughes-ish.
Guitar solo's ripping away there now.
Yeah. Just like, why did they leave that other that other solo in? They
Yeah,
could have
right?
they could have done a second take. All right. City of Angels. John, what do you make of City of Angels?
Oh man. I'm gonna have to give it another 3. I'm going 3s down the board here.
Hey, you are.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was I didn't think it was bad, but I mean, it's just like I'm like I think the past like few songs they've just kind of been very kind of fillerish, just very like the same, I feel like they're kind of doing stuff that's varied and different in here, but I'm not really I guess it's just I'm not really feeling it, you know? I'm not getting what they're picking up what they're putting down.
Fair enough. I will give this one a 4. I really like this one.
Hmm.
I like and I should have known better. I think that part's really cool. And I think
Yeah.
I like the peaks and valleys of the song and the ups and downs. And I really like that it's just a very moody sort of outro.
Hmm.
And by outro, I mean, I don't know, the last 3 minutes of the song. But yeah, really, I dig that one. And that was Steve Kohler's favorite song on the album. So.
Oh yeah.
Just so you know.
Oops.
But look out,
Sorry.
folks. The next song is called The Mill is on Fire. Or The Mill's on Fire. Starts off very quiet. Like a cool phaser or something on the bass there.
Hmm.
This should be like the theme song of my hometown. They pretty much ran out of mills, but for a while there, every other week a mill was burning down.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I remember.
It's actually a very, looking at the lyrics, it is kind of a story about a town like the town I grew up in, an old dead mill town. Everyone used to work in the mills all shut down, and people are getting desperate. It's like, man, can't get a job and all these goddamn mills are on fire. This sums up my childhood.
Yeah.
So this song was written by LaRue and Blakemore. I wonder where those guys are from. Or if these guys were all kind of Long Island boys.
Be interesting to find out.
Yeah, I don't know if I know I found one of the guys on Facebook.
Oh.
It should be noted that Jolyn Turner also played guitar in this band.
Hmm.
I want to say it credited him as lead guitar in one of the songs, but I can't find it. Maybe I'm just imagining that.
Did I know that JLT was a guitar player? Probably.
Remember he talked about how he liked to play jazz.
Jumps behind a wheel on an overhead six with a bucket and a Bible too.
So Rick Blakemore died in 1983 at the age of 33 in a car accident. Terrible.
Oh, shit.
And JLT said, Rick Blakemore was my brother and mentor. He died in a tragic car accident, not his fault. You'll see that he's part of my dedication on all of my albums because he's one of the guys that I am so spiritually in touch with. He guides me through my writing and playing process. He may not be on this earth anymore, but he's still in my heart.
Wow. Huh. I don't know if we talked about that before, that Blakemore had passed away.
I don't know if we did. It's a good... All right. There you have it. The Mill's on fire. John, what do you think?
Another 3, my friend.
Man.
You know, these are like, they're not like halfway. You know what I mean? They're not a 2.5. They're a 3. I mean, like, they're good. I'm listening to them
Yeah.
and I'm grooving along, but there's nothing like those first couple of songs that really did it for me, you know? Like, I feel like, you know, we've come across a lot of albums like this where, you know, this is why I can't get into them. This is because they run out of steam really fast. You know, they're top heavy. The first few songs are like, they're good. You know, they got a sprinkling of like a couple of good songs on them, and then the rest of them are like, they're okay.
Yeah, maybe just not enough super strong material.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's like excuse me, it's good music. You know, you know, a lot of good melodies in here, but there's nothing like that I would say is you know, and good performances too, but production, like everything I said before still stands. It's just I don't know that the material is what the hell was that?
I was sneezing.
I just like it looked like you were like toppling over and then you came back from it. That was one hell of a sneeze.
It was. My eyes are watering.
Well, yeah, anyways, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, whatever. That.
That what I was just saying, that.
Yeah, just that. What I just said.
Okay. So I will give this one a 3.5. I like it. It tells the story of my people from dying mill towns across America. And yeah, I think the last 2, regardless of the ratings, the last 2 songs really had a lot of passion from JLT. Really sung well.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt.
The last track is called I Keep Going / Hard Bargain, written by the one and only LaRue. Lead vocals on I Keep Going are by Bob Daniels, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, the keyboardist. And then the lead vocals on the second part are by Rick Blakemore. So a little bit something different to close out the album. And here it goes. I Keep Going, Hard Bargain. JLT, smoke 'em if you got 'em.
It was a time for feeling out things. I was looking for a life on a better way to spend a little time. I was watching a movie, a late night show, trying not to close my eyes. Me and Errol Flynn waiting for the sun to rise.
Did he say me and Errol? I
Arafat?
thought he said me and Errol Flynn.
Both
Did
are
he?
strong. Let's see here.
I don't think he said. I feel like he said Errol Flynn, not Arafat.
I don't think he said either. It's got to let me look it up.
Down my window pane into the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, more
Okay,
Mexico.
he said Errol Flynn.
I knew I heard Errol Flynn.
I knew I heard Arafat. I was just wrong.
I feel like I hear a little southern rock in here,
Oh, yeah.
kind of influence. Yeah.
I just looked up. Blakemore was from New Jersey. Paramus. I used to work in Paramus. Paramus. It's rocking. So is this the second part of the song? Hard Bargain? Let's see.
Well, this is the most rockin' shit that we've heard so far.
That's pretty good. Classic 70s rock trope of going out with a minor.
Which apparently back then was acceptable.
Seems to be far more acceptable. It's done with the way it's done. It's presented in the manner you would be like, "Hey, I put those cookies in. Don't eat those cookies in that cookie jar, you." And then you eat them, and like, "Oh, you." It's like they use that same approach to like a 30-year-old guy going out with a 15-year-old. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, you did that. You
Oh,
silly.
yes. Oh, you rapscallion.
You know, I turned my back for 1 second, and there you are, going out with a 15-year-old. This is some sort of like shotgun wedding that they're presenting here because he drove a hard bargain. I was like, "Oh, you messing with my daughter? You weird sleazeball. Well, now you're gonna have to marry her. That'll fix everything." I gotta tell you, they got No wonder the harmonies and everything on this album have been so good. He's got some really good singers in this band. Both these guys are great.
I don't think JLT would mess around with any slouches for backup vocalists.
No, but it's always just amazing to me when you can have like Bernie Marsden being in Whitesnake. It's just like, oh, this guy that isn't the lead singer, but then all of a sudden, every so often he does a song, you're like, oh shit, he's a really good singer too. Like he's just like, it seems like an embarrassment of riches. Like, come on, man, spread the love. Let some other band have him. You don't need this amazing singer in your band when you already have an amazing singer.
Yeah.
All right, I keep going. Hard bargain. What do you say?
Well, I'm gonna have to keep going with the threes, my friend.
You keep going.
I'm driving the hard bargain here.
Yeah.
I only gave like 2 4s, but that's okay. I think a 3 is just a little bit above, that's respectable.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what else to say. You drive a hard bargain.
I do drive a hard bargain. I'm going to give this one a 3.5. I like it. I like the kind of medley sort of nature to it. I think those two singers are awesome. Can't really deduct points on a 70s album for talking about underage girls because there would be no 70s albums left.
Yeah.
But yeah, that does not age particularly well. But yeah, there's a lot of fun album, good closer to it. And while John fumbles with the spreadsheets, there's only one spreadsheet. There's multiple tabs though. I will get to work on thanking our foundation core level patrons at the £3.50 Deep Purple New York tier. We have Lord Longford. At the £3 aromatic fee tier, we have Simon Ford and Richard Brees. At the 293 pence tier, we have
Blackmore Tights.
At the $3.33 halfway to evil tier, we have Stephen Sharp and Duncan Leask.
Smoke on the water, fire in the sky.
It's the way she says "what smoke on the water." The way she says it, it's just priceless. At the $3 Nobody's Perfect tier, Peter Gardeau, Ian DeRosier, Mark Roback, Stuart McCord, Ivan Fjeldbu, Runar Simonsen, Ruinous Inadequacies, Corey Morissette, Ashley, Rose, Weston Supermare Pilgrim, Joe Dopefish Sigler, Adam Cork, and Tim Wood. At the $1.71 I Want My Own tier, we have
Rich, Youngly, Shayla.
I know who Rich is. Rich is my favorite.
And at the 10 Cold Hard Danish Kroner tier, we have Karsten Lau.
Cold Hard Danish Kroner.
Then at the $1 made-up name tier, the Dying Kind of Love Leaky Mausoleum, Stephen Somerville Concerto 1999 Fanatic, Hank the Tank, Private Eyes, Ashen Lionel, Steve Down to Earth Kohler, who recommended this album, Zwapper the Electric Alchemist, Anders Engstrom, ICDC, Durple Purple, David Haddam, Graham Bonnet's Disco Pants and Haircuts.
I said, Graham, our audience expects you to be a bit more dirty.
Disco Pants and Haircuts, yeah.
I'm just going to put my guitar across his head.
Eddie Lyon.
Homosexual.
And, of course,
New patron.
Sick Tone. Thank you so much to all of you for your generous support of the Deep Purple podcast. And here we go.
We'll just post it down the spreadsheet. And these
right.
Is that a new vocal?
No, it's the old one.
Wow.
It's
It's
the
been so long
pre-merm.
since I heard it. It's what's old is new again.
It's the pre-merms vocal.
Yeah, I'm so used to hearing the Merms one. I'm
Yeah, well, we're putting it on ice for a little bit.
good. Good. I've been hearing it too much of it.
Too much merms. A little merms goes a long way. All right. Here we are. John, where does this album fall on the spreadsheet?
So Fandango, Last Kiss. It's has a 6.83. So down toward like the bottom 0.25 there, bottom
Interesting
quarter.
where it lands.
I know, right? Right. So it's between Elf, self-titled, and a recent Deep Purple release that we discussed, Infinite.
It's funny because it's our most recent album review. It's one notch above that, and then Elf, which we brought up several times throughout the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, but also you got well, it's any Deep Purple related release isn't going to be too far away from anything else. So just a couple above it is Bent Out of Shape, which
Oh, there you go.
also has JLT on it.
A little more of the JLT. All right. Yeah, well, a fun album to listen to. Some cool, mellow 70s rock. I dig it.
Yeah, I think that overall it's I mean I wouldn't mind putting this one on kind of in the background, chill out to it, have some of that cool mellow 70s music going on. Like that's why when I looked at the album cover, I'm like, oh, I could picture this being in my collection, like pulling out the vinyl, putting it on, and while I'm in here like doing some other stuff that's going on in the background, that's that type of music that I feel like would sound great on vinyl with that kind of vinyl sound, like the little pops and scratches in the background, just very of the time,
There are 19 copies on sale right now on Discogs, starting at $2.99 Canadian. But with shipping from Canada, $15.96 Canadian, which isn't too bad.
Well, tell you what, if I ever find it around here, I'll pick it up.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's like it would be like a million to one shot finding it at a record store, but it would be great if you picked it up. Or you'll find it at a record store. It'll be like $38, so it won't do you any good. All right. So before we wrap things up, there's another thing we have to do. And that is postcards from the edge of Connecticut. Do you have
No, I'm tapped out.
You tapped your
I haven't got anything in a little bit.
The postcard well is run dry. So I'm gonna do these in order.
I did all mine like last time.
This one is appropriate for the Mexico song. It's a super sensitive picture of of Pedro from south of the border. It says U.S. highways, Interstate 95, south of the border. The real Pedro, 6 feet tall and ready to pose with you. You'll find this pseudo-Confederate Mexican all over the south of the border to greet you and make your stay more memorable. Ole, come see, come stay. Confederate? Why? Is because he's in the South?
I guess.
No, it's weird. I love that they're like 6 feet tall. I was like, wow, they have a 6 foot statue over there.
Oh, wow.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, I know. That's only a couple of inches taller than me.
Yeah, exactly. Nate, now here's a greeting from Pedro for you. Happy New Year. So sent right before the New Year. So thanks. This is from the Gardeau. So I don't know if this is a recent. Usually if it's recent, you'll see some sort of like website on it. I don't know. They put one of those giant stickers over the bottom, but it looks like it's probably vintage. Knowing Pete, he's like, well, I'll be going through south of the border, so I'll bring my south of the border postcards with me. Put that one in the postcard box. And then this one, and this one's very accurate. It says, you, me, Florida. So it shows a bunch of people walking through a windy snowstorm, which is exactly what we're doing here. It's about 10 degrees today and very icy and snowy. And it says me, and it shows a beautiful beach. It says, Nate, how cold is it for you? Keep those flannel underwear close by this frigid January. And then it says, clean that gooch.
Oh,
Peter.
Pete. Oh, Pete.
I'm going to have to see if I have any flannel gooch wipes left. It seems like that would be really unpleasant, especially in the super, super cold. Maybe they have one like they have for baby wipes, the little heated thing. Like you say, you have the heated wipe, which we never had, but like they'll just have to deal with it. There's just a little gooch wipe warmer. You can just pull them out.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. We finally found out what John's limit is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He's like, yeah, you did. Oh my goodness, unbelievable.
So what? Anything else, or
anything else we done here?
Is that what we ended on?
Yeah,
hot gooch wipes.
Well, I'm trying to see what else we have got in the notes. Any other house cleaning, keeping up? Check out deepdivepodcastnetwork.com for more like-minded shows, all of our brother and sister shows. And then, of course, we have the show notes at deeppurplepodcast.com, as well as links to some things if you want some more information on this. Or if you have more information on Fandango, let us know, because there's not a heck of a lot out there about this group. All right. Anything else, John?
No, I think I'm. Oh, I gotta tap out.
Yeah, me too.
This episode has exhausted me with its smooth, mellow 70s-ishness.
Yeah, you need to get yourself a room at Hotel LaRue and just crash for the night.
I'll get a suite at Hotel LaRue.
All right, then.
But yeah, it's yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well, thank you everybody for joining us.
Yeah,
and, we'll see you. We'll be back at you next week.
Yeah, I think this was enjoyable. I wouldn't say it wasn't. I just I wish that it was a little bit more of what we heard at the beginning of the album. I was very hopeful, but
well, maybe the next Fandango album will just take it to the next level.
Oh, you never know. Or we'll see why he left.
And at this rate, it'll be like episode 450 by the time we'll get there, but we'll get there. All right. Well, see you next week, everybody.
Good evening.
If you like the Deep Purple podcast and would like to support the show, please consider joining our Patreon or donating on PayPal. Patrons get full access to the podcast, Discord server, ratings, spreadsheets, and live stream invites. You can also leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts to help new people discover the show. You can follow the show on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, or Threads. You can also check out the website at deeppurplepodcast.com for show notes and more. Contact us via email at John or Nate at deeppurplepodcast.com. Thanks for listening.